In this video, I will be creating an Amazon EC2 server. For this, from the dashboard, under all services, click on this EC2, or if you have recently visited, it will be listed here, or you can use this search EC2. Click on EC2 and go to the instances. That will list all the instances available in your current region. To create an EC2 server, click on Launch Instances. On this page, you will see all the operating systems available. We will go with Ubuntu. So scroll down. You will see Ubuntu 20.04 LTS. Let's select this operating system. On this page, you have to select instance type, and that is the plan, like how many CPUs, virtual CPUs and memory you have in the server. By default, it will be selected T2 Micro. This is a free tier eligible plan. If you have a free trial account, then use this plan. In this case, I will be going for T3 Small. This plan have 2 virtual CPUs and memory of 2 GB. There is another plan like a T3A Small. This one have AMD CPU. This is Intel CPU. T3 Small is Intel. This is AMD. T3 is A Small. It's for AMD. It is same 2 CPU and 2 GB. This cost approximately $50 per month. Click on Next, Configure Instance Details. On this page, we can select how many number of servers we need to create. In this case, we only need 1 server. You can select the VPC. If by default there is only 1 VPC, the default. If you want different VPC, then you can create here. Then you can select the availability zone. Each region, for example, we are in Ohio. We are in Ohio region. Then Ohio have 3 availability zones. You can select this. If you have already server in one of the region and one of the availability zone, and new server need to be in the same region for any reason, then select this. Otherwise, leave it and no preference. Click Add Storage. On this page, you need to select a disk space available on your server. By default, it is 8 GB. If you need, it depends on how much data you need to upload to the server. If you have 100 GB data, then you have to put it like 100 GB or even more, because if you have 100 GB, you need some space for operating system. So you need to leave some free space. So if you have 100 GB, then put 120 or something like that. In this case, this is a small site, so I will put 30 GB. OS will take like a 4 GB. Rest of the disk space will be available for your application. Delete on termination, and this, if you uncheck this, the disk will stay when you delete an instance. Next, add tags. Here you need to specify name of this virtual machine. I put the domain name. You can add additional tag like created on. So this is next, security groups. A security group is a firewall. It allows you to open ports. By default, only port 22 is open. It is open to everyone. That is 00, any IP address. If you want only allow SSH access from your IP, you can put my IP here, or anywhere that will put this 00 here. Anyone can connect to this server using SSH port 22. Next, for a web server, you need to open port 80 that is used by the web server. So from this drop down, select HTTP from anywhere, like add role. We need to allow HTTPS from anywhere. It's already there, 00 is already there. If you need any custom port, you need to specify here. In this case, I will specify 7777 from anywhere. That's all the port you need for a web server. This this port is not required, but in this case I installed phpMyAdmin on this port, so I have opened this one. For a normal web server, all you need is port 2280 443 for HTTPS. Click Review and Launch button. Click on Launch. This will ask us to generate a key file. I select Create a new key pair. Then you have to specify name for this key pair. I put the domain name here so that the key will be generated in this name. So I know this key belongs to this particular EC2 server. I have used the same name for the EC2 server. Click on Download Key Pair. That will download the file to your computer. You need to keep this safe. In the future, if you want to connect to this EC2 server, you need this PEF file. Click on Launch Instances. That will create the EC2 server. We have the EC2 server created. Let us view the instance. Click on this View Instance. Here you can see the new server, and the instance type is T3A small, that is AMD CPU. Instance state is running. This is the IP of the server. Elastic. We don't have an Elastic IP here. This is the public IP. When you shut down an EC2 server, this public IP will be changed. So if you, in most use case, you need a fixed IP. For this, you need to get an Elastic IP address. For that, go here on the side menu, click on Elastic IP. Then you need to allocate Elastic IP address. Click on this button. Then click, you can add a tag here so that the IP address have a identification name. From that you can see which EC2 instance this IP belongs to. Click on Allocate. So you have this new IP address. What we need to do next is click on this IP address, then click on this Associate Elastic IP address button. That will connect the Elastic IP to the EC2 server you have created now. This is the server. From this server you have the instance ID. This is a unique number, then the instance name. These two servers don't have any instance name. Since we have added a name for the server, it is easy for us to identify this server. So select this server and click associate. At this point we have an Ec2 server and we have associated this elastic IP to the server. To log into the server, take a terminal, then change to the folder where our PEM file is downloaded. We need to set permission 600 chmod 600 email newsletter email. This is the PEM file. To log into the Ec2 server, you need to type ssh-i, then have to specify the key file. After that, you need to put the username Ubuntu, then IP address of the server. Okay, we are logged into the new Ec2 server. To become user root, use the command sudo su. Now you are user root. That's all we need to do to create an AWS Ec2 server.